And there's a big difference between the two things in terms of pipeline, in terms of cost, in terms of the time it takes, the skills that you need to do it. But it's a very important and very exciting part of augmenting the ideation supply chain at the start. Okay, so that's the first one. Scaled adaptation is something altogether different. Priti Mehta, who's here from our Hogarth business, has been building tools for years to basically automate resizing of ads, transcreation, translation, adapting videos from horizontal to vertical, all these kind of things. But today, we can do so much more. So this example here is an example of something we recently debuted at the Microsoft Mobility Summit. This is a pipeline that uses generative AI and machine vision to transcribe a video, but in such a way that it only fills in the blanks. So the use case is this. You have lots of ads that we put out in the market. If you take a regular, say, 30-second spot, there might be snippets of 3 or 4 seconds in between where there's no voiceover. So if you're a visually impaired person, you have no idea what's going on in the ad in those segments. You hear the voiceover every now and then. You hear maybe some sound or music, but you have no idea what happens in the snippets where there's no voiceover. So what we built is this very exciting pipeline that you ingest any video, it transcribes it, or it narrates the video, not only in general terms, but also in terms of facts, purpose, product representation, etc. It analyzes where there's no voiceover. This is probably the hardest part of the entire thing for those of you who've built systems like this, to understand whether it's a voice or whether it's just music. It's actually pretty tricky. We then create the snippets, the video snippets, where there's no voiceover. We describe them and then write content that can actually fit into that snippet. So if it's a 3-second snippet, you can't say 20 words. You can only say 3 or 4 words. And then we combine it all using 11 labs with a voiceover. So let me show you, I'm not sure how well it's going to play, but I think the video example I have is slightly poor quality, but let me show you what the end result looks like then. This is, by the way, the Super Bowl Mayo Cat ad. For those of you who watch the Super Bowl, it's a Hellmann's campaign around food waste.
View from fridge. Person rummaging. After chicken scale, cheese. Look at this.
Fluffy cat observes. Fridge opened.
Hellman.
Jar in fridge.
Holy, you can talk.
And then she says, and
Hellman saves the leftovers.
Try to look forward or at the DSM here, don't look behind you, and if you can see on the other side.
Hand reaches for mayo.
Line!
Spotlight on Hellman's.
All right, now look at the jaw. Look at the jaw. Now look at it. Look. Now, mommy, look up and look away. That's showtime.
Indoor shoe. Profile of male cat displayed.
谁开的看电视哦？没有看。
Mayo Cat arrives at Global Summit.
Red carpet event.
Is it serious?
Cat dumps Davidson headline. Cat on counter.
Longer than most. Want to go pound some milk and whip at my couch?
Kitchen scene with cat and Hellman's methods.
Yeah, good idea. So what's really cool about that is something that obviously you could have done in a production studio for, in the past. It would take you a couple of weeks. It would cost you a lot of money. This is something that we can now effectively self-service. Built the interface, built the tool, and so people can upload videos and get these transcriptions done really quickly. It just adds a whole new opportunity for accessibility in advertising. So you can see how, if you sort of expand your mind a bit, you can actually start building something much more exciting than simple text-to-image or even text-to-text kind of applications. Another use case which is actually dramatically difficult, and something we've been working very closely with NVIDIA on with Getty, Getty Images, is this idea of building self-service production-grade content engines. Now, the challenge here is that you want to have a factually correct product integrated with a generative AI background. So what you have to do is you have to firstly take the design model of the product. You've got to render it in 3D in Omniverse. Then you've got to generate a background. You've got to make space in that background for the product. You've got to land it and then apply all the controls for shadows and lighting, etc. All as a completely automated pipeline. I think Priti's going great at the moment fixing this or getting this to production quality. And we're nearly there. We are at sort of 99% quality here. So what's interesting about this is that this is the enterprise or the production grade version of text to image that people are looking for. You know, they're looking for self-service solutions that within very strict aesthetic and design guidelines can create high volumes of content, in this case Coke and Meals,